On the other hand, I'm fucking lazy. So
That's true. You know what? When I was in Afghanistan, I had
That's true, he says. Thank you. Thank you.
No, when I was in Afghanistan, I had this plywood desk that was just a gigantic L, right? So I had, the fucking little part of the L that sat in front of me, and then like a fucking thing right here that went up
Mhm.
against the wall. When I tell you I had probably 30 soda cans on that bitch, I'm not joking. Like I just set them over there. Like, and I'd forget about them while I played 2K14,
Oh, man.
or just because I didn't have shit else to do because I was in the middle of Afghanistan paying $111 a month for fucking Sniper Hill internet.
You
Yeah.
sit there
That's
for
what it
2
was called.
hours, and then you're like,
Sniper
"What the
Hill.
fuck? I didn't drink this many. Who's been in my office?"
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I did.
Yeah. And then my
Over the
little
course of
plywood
a
door
week.
that didn't lock behind me, right?
Mm.
It had a sliding plywood. Yeah, dude. It was wild.
Quality.
Yeah. But anyways, hi boys.
Hi.
Hi.
We haven't talked all that much this week,
No,
like at all.
it's been
I've
quiet.
been busy. Been busy. Well, I've been busy. I know Tim's been busy. Justin, what have you been up to? You been playing games?
Yeah, dude. I've been playing
What you been
games.
playing?
I finally cracked into Halo 3 ODST.
Nice.
Oh, I did. I
Yeah.
did see you playing the Master Chief Collection a couple days ago.
Yeah, dude. I
Once
got
again.
it all hooked up on my Steam Link. I've been playing upstairs on my couch using my Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It's been great.
Yes.
I've tried my Switch Pro controller a little bit with my Steam Link. I think I just like my Xbox One controller better, and it has nothing to do with there's nothing wrong with the Pro controller.
There's not.
It has everything to do with the fact that my Xbox controller has a textured grip, and so going back to something with a smooth grip was like, "Oh, I don't like it anymore."
Yeah.
It's the fact that Xbox has mastered the controller layout.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now, if only they had haptic feedback like PS5, they'd have a modern
I mean,
controller.
look.
Yep.
The thing about haptic feedback, I'm sure we've all heard about that. Those controllers have been fucking up a lot, right? As cool as it is, right? Which I'm not disagreeing that Xbox should have it. At the same time, more moving parts equals easier to break. You know what I mean? So
Also, what's the point in buying a controller for a console you can't fucking buy?
that's true. I'm waiting on this tax money, yo. W2's
For what? So you cannot buy something? Yeah.
I can squirrel it away.
We still got probably 6 months till anybody can buy a fucking graphics card. So
hey, you want to what? You can buy whatever you want if you win the 1 billion mega millions jackpot.
You know what else? You can buy whatever you want if you're willing to pay over triple MSRP for a graphic.
It wouldn't matter if you have $1 billion. You don't give a shit.
That's true.
You buy whatever you want. You'd buy the whole scalper's house.
Mm-hmm.
Say fuck you, kick them out.
Buy the company I work for and use the company's credit card to buy all the GPUs and then turn the company into a Bitcoin farm operation.
Oh my god! Yeah. I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, and everyone would hate my guts, but you know what? Fine.
They would. Tim, have you played anything this week? I know.
Yeah, I've played a few different games. I've been really on an RTS kick.
Right.
Real-time strategy. No, is it anything specific? I finally tried out Dawn of War Apocalypse mod for Soulstorm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Which you can play it for there's a Dark Crusade version, there's a base Dawn of War version, but I like Soulstorm because I just like having more options. So I played it as I just did a quick little 3v3 against the computer, and I played as the Space Marines, and there was just Apocalypse mod adds so much, and I was like, this is what Dawn of War 3 should have felt like.
Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, it gets epic, right? The scaling is great.
Well, and the really cool thing is they did this neat trick where they took the character models and actually made them smaller. So when you add more units, it doesn't become, because Dawn of War always had this problem where the camera felt really zoomed in.
Right.
And so the combat was always super messy.
I hate going back and playing Dawn of War these days because I feel like my camera is what I have to do when I don't wear glasses and I'm trying to read something that's far away. I'm trying to get as close as possible to the screen because I can't fucking see.
Well, in order to fix that, I don't know if there's something in the mod that automatically zooms it out. That might be the case, but everything is smaller And so when you get more things on screen, it's not becoming just a fucking disastrous mess. Like it actually feels really good. It's not particularly perfectly balanced, but hey, neither was Dawn of War, so
Yeah.
I'm good. And then I've played a few other games too. I played a couple like. Have you heard of Xenonauts?
Yes.
No.
Okay, Xenonauts is literally like an XCOM original clone. Played that a little bit. Played Breach and Clear, which is like
you see they got a new one?
yeah, Breach and Clear 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming out soon. And then other than that, I've been playing Fallout. I haven't gotten into the. We'll talk about it a little bit. I haven't downloaded that yet. I'm waiting for the Steam release, which I think is.
So am I.
I thought it was supposed to be sometime this week. Maybe it's next.
I thought it was. I thought it was too. When I originally started reading about it, it was supposed to be sometime this week. I think they've had issues, right? Remember, we'll talk about it later. But I think they've had issues. I was about to
I'm
jump right into that
really excited for that. So, more Fallout is best Fallout.
You want to know what you shouldn't be excited for? Xbox having simultaneously the worst deal in gaming and the best deal in gaming. Have you
So
heard,
true.
Tim? This happened today.
No.
They
seen this? Have you
doubled
read
the
this?
amount of Xbox Live Gold. And you can't buy a whole year Xbox Live Gold anymore. You could only buy 6
Wait,
months.
what do you mean they doubled the amount? They doubled the price?
Yes.
So just get Game Pass Ultimate, which includes gold, and it's still $14.99.
Right.
plus you
So
get the
this is the thing, right? I don't understand why they can't just come out and be like, Gold's
Gold
gonna
is
be
dead.
free. Right. Gold's free. Instead of them doing that, they went, we're just gonna make gold inaccessible for most people. So you'll buy Game Pass.
Because it includes gold, yeah.
Right.
How much is gold now? It was
$11
It's
a month.
$120 for 6 months.
Yeah.
So they increased.
It's $20 a month?
So the per month was 10, now it's 11. 3 months is going from 25 to 30, and the 6 month is going from 40 to 60. And as we know, they eliminated the year chunks. Anyone who's currently got an active plan, their price will be grandfathered in.
Oh, so basically, it's not going to affect most people. If you're not new to Xbox, it won't affect you.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's honestly like who's really buying an Xbox right now? Not a whole lot of people because you can't anyway. But I mean that kind of sucks. I thought it was like I thought it jumped to like $20 a month. I was like, that's ridiculous. If it's more than Game Pass,
Right.
that's stupid.
So
If it's like
I missaid it, right? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, if you want a year, it's now it's doubled in price, right? It used to be $60 for an entire year. Now it's $120. And it's literally just a vehicle to push more people into Game Pass. That's all it is.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Making it such a close price. Why wouldn't you pay $4 more and get all these free games?
Right.
It's like I get my 3 games a month and a library of like 200 something.
Right.
And you can effectively 400 games if you're talking PC and Xbox.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
That is nuts. You know what? And I've actually been looking at those games recently. They have Deep Rock Galactic on the PC.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it.
It's been on there.
We haven't played that yet. I don't know how we haven't played that yet.
We're talking about it. I think for like the past 3 weeks.
Can we play that?
And it's free. We can play it whatever we want. I thought we'd have to buy. I thought the barrier currently is that we had to buy it. When the barrier really is that we need to play GTFO first. But we don't even have to buy it. Like it's just there.
Yeah.
The other thing that like it just came out is the Medium. I'm super.
Did it come out?
Did that just come out?
I'm pretty sure that came out now, right? Am I ahead of myself?
I know it was coming up really soon, and they've been tweeting about
it was this week. Was it today?
It wasn't out when I was looking yesterday or the day before.
I don't see it on the PC one. Maybe it's not out
January
yet. No, it's right
28th
there. It's right there.
Yep,
January 28th. Okay, so you can pre-install on PC right now with Game.
Cool.
But you can't play until the 20th. So we got 1 week left. I jumped the gun a little bit, but I am excited for the Medium.
Yeah, it looks
that
cool.
looks really interesting.
I like the side-to-side nonsense that they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's really unique. So
Also, there's just I don't know. I was looking at this earlier, like within the past couple days. Oh, they're getting rid of Final Fantasy 15. Well, nobody cares about that game anyways.
Justin's like, I put 100 hours into photo mode in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just kind of curious. I just don't understand because now, and I didn't realize this, right? Because I don't play a lot of free to play games. But Xbox is the only certain console, right, that you have to still pay money to just play free to play games,
Yeah. Oh.
which is wild in the era of Warzone and Fortnite and all the other stuff. Yeah, apparently you don't need PlayStation Plus to play these games.
Nope.
You can play them. You can play them. You
Same
can
thing
use
on
the internet.
Switch. You can just
Right.
have the
So I
Switch
didn't realize
So
that.
I don't need Nintendo Switch Online?
for free games, free to play online games. No.
So I don't really need it for anything then, because I don't really play it online. Like we have it because it was cheap,
You
and I was
need
like,
you need it for
we might
multiplayer.
get Animal Crossing. I could have just held
Right.
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could have held
I
off.
mean-
But whenever Sarah wants multiplayer Animal Crossing, you'll need it.
Yeah.
You do.
It's
I
not
mean,
that bad.
I don't know how much you've looked into it. You do have access to a whole suite of NES and Super NES games. You might dig that.
Yeah, but you know who already had full access to most of those games on his computer, totally legally, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely don't have like a library of emulators on my computer.
Yeah, it's definitely plays way better on the computer too, rather than the
Hey,
Switch.
guys, real quick, I
Yeah.
just wanted to I don't know who this person is, but somebody named Nancy Bell shared our stream, and that is new for us. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Nancy. I don't know who you are, but you're the first person that I've ever seen their name pop up, and I didn't know who they were when they shared the stream. So
Too kind.
we appreciate it.
Hi,
Just wanted
people.
to give a little shout out. Tim, you like spoopy games? Have you looked
Yeah.
at the Resident Evil showcase for the new Resident Evil at all?
I've watched some of it. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the times when I'm watching showcases for new games now, I'm just watching Yang Yas playback and I'm listening to his beautiful voice, like kind of add his thoughts in on it. It's weird. I don't know. Like it looks good,
Right.
but it looks
So
really weird.
before I give my opinion, Justin, what do you think about it?
I was really into what they did for Resident Evil 7. I love that they went into that first person view and made it so immersive that way. And they're continuing that with 8. And I love the setting of it looks like some European country. There's castles and shit. I like the whole aesthetic of that. But one thing that seems to be changing is they're gamifying it a little more. Like you're gonna have a merchant back. It looks a little more actiony, harkening back to like the kind of vibe I got from Resident Evil 4, which isn't bad, but it looks like it'll be a little bit of a departure from Resident Evil 7, which felt like very narrative and spooky. But
yeah,
it looks really good.
RE7 is almost more Outlast like compared to the other series.
I had the same thought process.
And in this one, like you get some of those vibes, but I also left myself questioning the whole time. I was like, where the fuck's Leon? Why does it feel like Leon needs to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not a big Resident. Look, y'all already know. The only scary game I've ever really played is fucking Phasmophobia, right? I've seen a lot of Resident Evil, but I've never been interested in it, right? But I was watching the gameplay earlier today because I hadn't watched any of it yet. And this seemed like one that I would play because this doesn't seem that scary, like at all. It honestly, and this is kind of weird. This is a weird comparison. I had almost like a little Uncharted feel from it, right? Because I don't know what it is about the dude's name, Ethan Wind or something like that.
Made you think Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it seemed like a name. You know how there's like superhero names, right? That just seem like they would fit in a superhero universe. This Ethan, whatever the fuck his name is. Is it Ethan Wind? Is that right?
I
Something
forget.
like that.
Something.
Anyways, his name just reminded me of like a Nathan Drake or something like that. I had this Uncharted feel. He seems like he's very charismatic just from like the video and stuff. And I guess he's a carryover character from a different game.
Yeah, he's the main character from 7 still.
See, I just find it weird because you're right. The 7 had a very Outlast feel. It was very much. It was scary, like legitimately, like that shit in the house in the beginning of that game. I was like, I don't ever want to fucking play this
I
ever.
thought of a particular scene in the game where you said that shit in the house, and I thought of that literal shit.
Oh no!
Right, right.
Yeah,
like that game was off the wall.
Yeah.
This game, it seems like they pulled back on like a lot of it from the showcase and stuff like that. The story's probably fine. It looks great. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks fantastic from like a graphical standpoint. I just don't. I don't get the scary vibes, right? I don't. I
Right.
get more of a like a suspenseful movie, right, than a scary movie type.
I think you would really like. Justin, correct me if I'm wrong here. I think Cody would really like Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not that scary.
Which one's Resident Evil 4?
I
know most of the plots, I just don't know the numbers.
The one that's memed to death because there's a certain NPC that just keeps whining.
What are you buying?
There's that. And then there's also, Leon, do something! That whole thing.
Don't you hide her in like a dumpster or something for one section of the game?
I try and hide her in a dumpster in my memories for all of time, but sure.
I heard her. If I remember right, I remember the AI wasn't that bad for the time for her. Or am I misremembering that?
Escort missions are escort missions, man. They're always bad.
True. That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't think of too many games where I've been like the AI is good. not bad. AI is not saying much.
I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, I haven't really played Resi games, you know. I've never really also been a fan of like their game mechanics when it comes to like limiting your ammo and stuff like that and whatnot.
The survival horror aspect.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like I like survival games, don't get me wrong, but it's like, bitch, give me ammo. That shit's scary. Like
survival and survival horror, not the same thing. I do see that a lot on Steam where like somebody will tag like I don't think it was Rust, but it was one of those Rust clones where it was like survival horror. I'm like, no. I think it was literally it was the one we played, Cody. That was like I really liked it, and then it was.
Oh, you talking about the one with the rabbit clip? Dark and Light?
No, not Dark and Light. Not Dark and Light.
You know what I'm talking about with the rabbit clip?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. about.
Look at the rabbit tip.
Oh my god.
No, I'm not thinking of Dark and Light. Oh god. It was much more like horror themed. There were like shadow creatures and shit. Like you got me into it. Nether.
Yeah.
Yes.
That game died, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun while it was actually my buddy.
The servers are still up. It's not good.
No, it's not. It never really because that Nether mixed more of a DayZ aspect with creepy shit, right? It wasn't just like zombies; it was like spirits and other weird shit. I know, like I just remember a lot of purple. I don't know why. I just
remember you could get like a katana and stuff, and I was like, oh fuck yeah! And it was never really that cool. But I do remember murdering like other people in PvP with a katana.
Yeah, it was a decent game.
What's up, Ben?
Anywhere. So, Ben, he's here.
He's here. The man, the myth,
the best of us. That's
legend.
what I keep calling him because he's the best of us when it comes to Phasmophobia. And as soon as he dies, I am ready to shit my pants.
Yeah, dude.
Oh man,
Resident Evil 8. The only other thing I would have mentioned was like, I have no idea how they're gonna tie this game to the other one.
Into the rest of them. You know, they did mention something at the beginning of the reveal trailer about like that. I think is hinting at the connection. I don't know enough about the lore to make it. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about when the giant woman talks about her brother?
Giant vampire woman. Yeah.
Is she?
She's talking. Yeah, she's a vampire.
Okay.
I guess that was the first thing I saw. When
she's a vampire.
Resi game. It's like Resident Evil reveals vampire, whatever.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? I was like, vampire.
I've seen a lot of like it has been memed like to death at this point that apparently Twitter and a lot of people were like, oh no, she's hot.
Oh,
like it's like what? There's a lot of like giant test fetish going on out there now
yeah.
because of RE8, which is
Definitely.
interesting. I
A lot
don't
of
know
people want to get
if you
stepped
actually
on.
if you actually play this game, I don't think you're gonna want that no more. But hey, you know, you do
Well,
you.
the
It's
merchant,
cool.
you know what? The merchant guy's really big too.
Yeah,
Just
dude.
saying.
People are into that as well. I
Yeah,
like he
I don't
comes
know.
out of that little structure and just,
Carriage?
like, yeah, he just like
Yeah.
fills up the whole thing.
He's
People
Jabba
like
the
what they
Hutt.
like.
That's what
Jabba
he
the
is.
Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
I have a lot of
Han,
questions about that.
Babu.
Yeah, I don't know the game, but the game does kind of hint at it. It also kind of when she calls her mother, it's I can't tell if she's talking to another vampire or like the church.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more interesting if it was the church, but
Vampire Church.
I don't
Same
know.
thing.
I think look, I think it's funny when when like stories like use religion in like a fucked up way, like they're not meant to be. You know what I mean?
You should play
So,
Outlast too.
no. I'll watch your stream because I know you streamed it, or did you get rid of
did.
all of it?
No,
Is it still around?
there might be clips on YouTube. I think most of it's gone. I did try
I
and
don't
punch
know.
my camera because I got jump scared.
Hey, at least you didn't call something a giant black cock.
Yeah, no,
What
it didn't
happened?
make me angry.
Dude.
That was
Like,
like I don't think I've ever played a horror game that made me angrier than Alien Isolation because I made the mistake of playing it on the I did what I always do. I played it on the hardest difficulty on my first go.
Yeah.
I was like, let's fucking go. And that was rough. But
oh man.
there was this one point where I just kept dying over and over and over and over and over. And somebody
I saw that shit live.
well, I can't even remember what somebody said in chat. Was it what did you say in chat? I can't
I don't
remember what it
remember.
was. And then I just started screaming about I think you said why is the alien so angry or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And then I just started screaming about how it's because he's a giant black dick. He's a giant dick. I think I called him the BBC of murder. It was fucking
God,
it
dude,
was,
that
it
was
was
one of the
pretty good.
funniest moments on a stream I've
That
ever
was
like just
pretty
witnessed.
good.
And
Well,
you
and
called him,
it made
you
it
didn't
even
call-
better
you didn't
because
call him a dick. You called him a cock. And it
did
was very the way you said it was very like aggressive. It's like giant black cock. Like
it was because I remember why, because I was answering your question and then it like jump scared me and killed me as I was answering the question.
Nice.
That's why.
It's
Alien
such a good
Isolation.
point.
Speaking of AI in games, I
Oh,
hate
man.
that had an adaptive AI in it, and it was actually good. So the more it killed you, the better it got at killing you. So if you were stuck in a section, the worse it fucking got. Like it was so great and so fucking horrible to
man.
experience.
Oh god. I just that was such a good time. You know what isn't a good time though? Well, for a lot of people. Motherfucking Cyberpunk. Jason Schreier.
Players.
Yeah. Well, look, I played it on console, right? But I played it on the Series X, so I think I had it better than a lot of folks.
And you still
I still had problems. A lot of problems.
Significant problems.
Yeah. Still put 50 hours into it because it's a good game underneath all the problems.
Yeah.
So if you haven't played Cyberpunk yet, just wait. Wait like a year. When you know what? Get it after the first free DLC comes out because you know that's how they're going to try and help fix this.
If you have it on PC, it's playable. If you get it for PC, it's playable. But if you own a console, don't touch it for a year. Yeah.
Yeah. They also have mods to help fix some stuff on the
There's
PC.
also a third person mod.
Oh my god,
I saw that.
The animations are so funny.
Yeah. Wacky.
But anyways, no, Jason Schreier released a article on Cyberpunk, and Tim, I'm assuming you didn't get a chance to read it because I know.
No, I haven't read it personally because I don't have a subscription to,
Well, the link that Justin put in the doc is free.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't read it. But I do know what he said in it because I've watched a lot of coverage on it and listened to other news outlets kind of cover it, and it's kind of it's nothing we didn't know. It's nothing we haven't speculated. I think we've speculated about a lot of it on our own show.
Mhm.
But it's disappointing to have it confirmed because you hope that CD Projekt Red was like, I'm thinking of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith right now. You are the chosen one.
Mhm.
But yeah, they kind of fucked it up.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how they talked about how at like they started working on it. 2012 was announced. They started figuring it out, and then 2016 rolls around, and they get they got a new director or whatever, and he basically just hit the reset button, and then they started everything from scratch. New, like it sounded like originally the game was going to be third person, and they had to overhaul it for first person. And then there's another part where they talked about how it felt like they were on a train and building the tracks as it was going, since they were developing all this technology for their engine while also developing the game itself, which is insane.
Well, and the other thing about it is like, you said that they brought on the new director in 2016, but they also didn't start work on it until 2016. Like, they announced it, they showed all these like teasers and stuff. They hadn't done any of the actual building of the game at that point. They had only storyboarded shit. So like they replanned it, but in 2016, so we're like, oh, 8 years of development. Oh, really 4, and then there's a new console in the middle of it. That's not good.
I don't like we've had this argument before. I think the new console thing is bullshit. If there's going to be issues, it should be on the new console, not on the old console.
But see, the thing was, like they even straight up said, they've admitted this now. They're like, well, we're going to start by making it run really well on PC and the new consoles, and then work our way backwards. Because you got to also remember, like the new console thing, we've known about them for X amount of time, but they obviously, Xbox and PlayStation, work with their partners a lot more closely and are like, hey, here's the technology here, start working for this, start building for this. So they were like, oh, it'll be easy to make it run really well here and then backport it. And I'm like, no, you should have done it. You should have done it the way Cody's thinking about it. Yes, that's how it should have been done. It should have been made to run really well on current generation and then port it to the next generation. They're like, we'll do it backwards. We'll make it run on next gen consoles and PC really like better, and then it'll work on the old shit. It's like,
make
no,
it unplayable.
Like, I'm sorry. Like the Xbox One and the PS4, they're both their GPU in there is it's an AMD platform. It's called Jaguar, and the Jaguar platform has never been like that powerful. Like you can get a lot out of it, right? If you design it completely around that, because it doesn't have the overhead of a computer, but it's not a fucking computer, and it's obviously less powerful than the new shit. So thinking you were gonna take this game and design it for products releasing in fucking 2020 and 2021 and then make it run on shit that released in 2013.
Right. Yeah, I just the whole thing kind of baffles me in general, because honestly the development almost sounds a lot like Anthem, right? Where it's just like they had like a runway of time, a lot of time, and they just mismanaged the fuck out of it. And it's just like I don't understand. I will never understand how these companies can go from, because BioWare is an example of this too, making games like Dragon Age, right? Dragon Age Origins, or even the third Dragon Age, Eggs in the Kitchen. That's what it's Inquisition, Eggs in the Kitchen.
Gotcha.
I don't know. That's how I always remember it. Anyways, or Mass Effect 2, right? They made all these fucking phenomenal games, and then all of a sudden they just can't make decisions. And like I don't expect them to be perfect, right? You're gonna mess up. Nobody's perfect. How do you flop after making, like, you know how to make a good game? I just don't understand how you totally fucking like flop. And
there's
while
an answer for BioWare.
Well,
they got away with it with Inquisition because they had all of the same problems with Inquisition that they had with Andromeda. Yeah.
Right.
Like the crunch issue, they had the same problems like rebuilding stuff to run on Frostbite. They had all of the same problems they had with Andromeda, but it worked that time. They got away with the BioWare magic. So like, oh, we can do it every time. And Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red, given their own words, they're guilty of the same thing. Like they literally have said, "Oh, we just thought we could make it work, and we didn't have enough time."
Oh yeah.
They literally just straight up, "Oh, we thought we would be able to just make it work." It's like, no, you have to have a plan. Like you can't me through shit. You can't just be like, we'll figure it out. Like I do that all the time, and it terrifies me when I do it because I'm saying it to people like, it'll be fine. But I know in my head, I'm like, I'm not making anything nearly that complicated.
Right. Yeah, it says that in that report or article, whatever the hell you want to call it, that one of the developers did ask the question, "Well, how are we going to do that?" Blah blah, and literally they were told, "We'll figure it out as we go."
Yeah. Oh
What?
my god.
What? Like
That's so
that's how you.
terrifying.
That's always how you mismanage resources, and waste money and stuff like that. Like you, like Tim said, you just got to have a plan. I don't understand how you can have a multi-million-dollar project. You know what? I do understand because I'm in the military. I see it all the time. Multi-million-dollar projects, and you just see money go to waste. It happens because somebody, we call it the good idea fairy, flies in, plants the idea in, and it just has to be somebody in the right spot, right position to be able to push it. And everybody's like, "This is fucking stupid," but I guess we're gonna do it. And then you do it, and it is stupid. And you're like, "We told you. We just wasted 6 months on this. Like, what the fuck?" Happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I understand it a little bit more now that we've kind of talked it out. But yeah, it's just disappointing. That's just what it is at this point. It's just a major disappointment. Because CD Projekt Red was supposed to be the golden child. It was, as Tim said, the chosen one, right? From The Witcher and stuff. You know what I mean? Because you kind of saw them grow up, I guess, with the Witcher series, right?
Yeah.
And it culminated in The Witcher 3, which was phenomenal. You know, and The Witcher 3 had its own issues, but it was still a phenomenal game. It wasn't this broken out the gate. From what I remember, I didn't play it on console. I did play that one on PC when it first came out, and that is what drove me to actually build this PC. Because I couldn't play it in 4K, and it made me mad.
Yeah.
I had a problem. I'm bougie with my computer, so I don't know, Justin. You got anything else you want to slam dunk on this?
Yeah, the thing that I keep thinking of is how they talked about how they basically were told to make this demo for the game on shit that didn't exist, you know, just this one-shot demo that was not going to help them develop the game itself, just to kind of push the marketing. And what a goddamn waste of time just trying to market to, you know, investors when they could have just tried to be transparent and let us know, man, we have a lot of fucking work to do. We don't have anything to show you right now. Or, you know, just show us what you actually have. That transparency really usually goes a lot further with gamers or anyone who wants to buy your products, honestly, nowadays.
Yeah, I feel like gamers are fairly understanding. If you're like, "Hey, shit's fucked up. All right, it's gonna take longer. This is why it's fucked up."
Yeah.
Cool. People always appreciate that. Not even like you just said in the gaming industry, just kind of in general, right? Even if it's like your boss, right? Your boss is like, "Hey, I need you to do this, and this is why." And then it's always better to know the why than just be told to do something you think it's dumb. Like, why the fuck do I got to do that? You know what I mean? So
yeah, it definitely was not that case pretty recently with the whole gaming culture, but I think that everyone's kind of taken that turn now.
Right. What are you doing, Tim?
I just heard that I think gamers are pretty understanding, and I'm like, have you been on Reddit?
Don't let the
have you checked Twitter?
Reddit. I don't go on Reddit. I don't let the minority try ruin the majority. Like it's almost, and not to like go into politics. It's almost like politics, right? Because you got the crazies on the right and the crazies on the left that make the most noise, and you got everybody else in the middle.
The problem is like the people in the middle who don't say shit. We're not the people that they listen to because we're not the ones making noise. So like, you like, can you imagine? Like, think about how quickly Craig was memed.
I know, right?
Think about how like there were so many people in October and November tweeting at CD Projekt Red, just release the game, and then they released the game,
And people are
And a
mad
lot of
about
those, a lot of the same people are like, just take it back. We're like,
do what
like, I don't
Amazon
know.
did. Take it back.
The internet is not a forgiving place.
It's
That's
not.
all I know.
I'm level-headed people, right? I think level-headed people understand. Maybe not the 12-year-olds that really want what they want. You know what I mean? But just the general population. I have faith in general population. I don't know why. I don't have anything to base that on, but I don't know. But anyways, hey, let's move on. We have beat this horse to death
No, hold on,
multiple
one more
times
thing.
on this stream. Oh, you got one more thing? God damn. All right.
So we saw The Witcher. They did The Witcher 1, 2. 1 was whatever. 2 coming along. 3 fucking amazing, right? Do you think that them taking the time to build this whole engine for Cyberpunk is going to pay dividends in the future?
Yes.
Or are they going to throw it in the trash can?
I think the next Cyberpunk game is the one you want to buy. And I like this one. So
here's the thing. We can say that, but what do we have to base that on? You know what I mean? Like, yes, The Witcher 3 was great, but it was never totally like broken to the point where it was unplayable on whatever it was released on. Like, how can we trust them to do that at this point, right? They released the thing, they released the product, they withheld console keys, even though they claim that they sent them out. Even SkillUp has come out and said, I don't know of anybody that got a fucking console key. And even though CD Projekt Red has said that they came out on December 8th or something like that, I have zero trust in that company, right? I've seen this too many times before. BioWare being the biggest one, right? That is the easiest one to point to. I'm not probably going to buy their next game on release. I'll let it release. And if it's fantastic, great. If it's not really surprising. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the management, like the overall management of the company is going to change. You know what I mean? Like the director may change, but I'm not. I don't feel like these pushing a game out early like this isn't just the director, right? This is the company itself, the higher ups or whatever.
yeah,
Because they still made a fuck ton of money off this game, like just stupid amount of money.
Which
So
I do think it's funny how many salty investors are suing the company. By the way, they're being sued for a second time. We didn't really talk about that at all this time, but they're being sued by a second time by investors for misleading investors.
right.
And I'm just sitting here like, it sold 13 million copies still. It's still sold more than like any single player game on Steam ever sold in the first. And that's if you like exclude refunds. Like if you don't count the games that were refunded, it's still sold 13 million copies.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
If you invested in Cyberpunk, you fucking made money.
Yeah, I just saw this. Ben asked earlier, how does a console being old make it easier? Because it's a known product that people have been working on forever.
It's
People
not
know
new
how to
tech.
yeah, it's not new tech. Everybody knows how to get what the most out of it at that point. If you don't, there's plenty of people to ask. It's not like these companies don't talk, especially the developers. It's not like the developers don't talk to each other from company to company.
Unless you work at BioWare and you pretend Destiny doesn't exist.
That's true. Also true. But yeah, it's just it being known technology, right? It was very well known. It's 8 years old. So I don't understand how you can jack that up, right? You should understand the limitations of that console and what it's going to be able to deliver, and then make the game on that specific console to those specifications, right? While on your newer consoles or your PC, you expand on that. So, easy way to point to that would be probably the population density of the city itself, right? Should probably be lower overall on the older consoles because it can't run it. It just can't, which is fine. You know what I mean? But as we've talked about plenty of times on here, you can't get a 3080. You can't get an Xbox. Well, I lucked out. I got a Series X. But most people can't get a Series X or a Series S, and you can't get a PS5.
Not
So
unless
you
you want
need
to pay $1,500 for a PS5.
right. So the minority of the people that are playing these games are the people on the newest consoles, right? Because you can still play Cyberpunk on a PC. It just won't be on a brand new graphics card in most cases. And a lot of people are still playing it on that original PS4, original Xbox One. Some get the PS4 Pro, some have the Xbox One X or whatever, but that's still a smaller base than your base consoles that came out fucking 8 years ago. So that's my overall point when it comes to that, when it comes to the old tech and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ben's put in chat. He said that's like making a new PS2 game when the 360 was already out for 4 years. The difference here is this more like that's making a PS2 game as the PS3 is releasing that you can with future compatibility, so you'll have a new version of it.
Right.
That's more what that's like. Like you saw that happen plenty of time. Like there's a lot of times where it's always tricky to launch a game around a new console launch because you have to have the two versions of the game. And I feel like in this case they tried to mitigate that by having one version of the game. The Xbox Series X players are currently playing on the Xbox One version of the game. PS5 players were playing on the PS4 version of the game.
Right.
The next gen version is not out yet and won't be until I think they said next year. So
yeah, well, they said next year in 2020, so it's supposed to come out sometime out this year. So yeah, I think if they would have marketed it correctly, because if you did this right, you make it work on the old consoles, and then you market it the same way you did. You say, hey, there's a next gen update coming next year, right, where it'll be optimized in for those systems as well. So the old one works, and you buy yourself time to get all the new shit in, right? For you can increase the population size and graphics or whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Like that marketing idea is fine. The problem is the original base game doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. No, and Ben, to answer what you just put in chat, like we don't at all blame the development team. The development team executes the decisions that are made by the higher ups in the company.
Right.
Feet lies, and CD Projekt Red has come out and said this as well. Squarely at the feet of management, the decisions they made. They don't have any publishers here. They're their own publisher. They've gone the route of Bethesda in more than one way, in a bad way in terms of losing a lot of trust with a lot of people. Like Cody brings up BioWare. To me, it's like, yeah, Bethesda, BioWare. We've seen this story play out multiple times. And investors had no decision making in it. The management made the decisions they made to please investors, and now they're being sued by investors because investors.
That's how that shit works.
Exactly. Yeah. But anyway.
It's a great system. Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. But let's move on from Cyberpunk, because like I said before, we have beaten this dead horse quite a bit.
I'm sure something new will leak in the next month.
Right. I mean, it's just going to be a continuing story as we go along here. But if I had to ask you, Justin, because you're my Nintendo bro, right? What would you feel like, or how would you feel playing a Pokemon League of Legends game?
I'd try it if it was free. Why not?
Does it excite you in any way?
No.
I don't feel that way either. I don't. You know what? All right, so this is what it is. So Pokemon Unite is a game that's scheduled to come out this year. It is for mobile phones. They are still, for some reason, aren't releasing the Pokemon trading card game as a Hearthstone type deal on your phone. But fuck it, whatever. We'll just pass up the best idea out there for the Pokemon games. And they want to make it's Pokemon League of Legends is basically what it is. You run around, you pick your character at the start of the game. You have your lanes, and you run around as a Charmander, and you can evolve to a Charizard by killing mobs.
I love that Nintendo's getting into this.
I do kind of like that because it is a little weird for them to get into something like a MOBA. I feel like, because normally their mobile games and whatnot are just, they're a little cute. You know what I mean? Little puzzle games.
Yeah, they're pretty like cafe. Simple.
Right. You got the cafe game that came out last year. You got the little like block looking Pokemon. What the fuck was that called? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember what they called that. That was another just like very chill.
Right, and it was fun, by the way. I played it a lot when it first came out. I played it on my Switch a lot. So it's just like they keep doing all this weird stuff. But the League of Legends, I think, is kind of a. Do you think it's them trying to like monetize it? Right? You think they're going to try and monetize Pokemon? I think, because that's what I feel.
Definitely. I watched that leak that came out, and they showed there'll be like different skins that you can get for your characters, and that's what you spend your like shop points on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that.
So Yeah, I'm sure it'll be just like League of Legends, except, there won't be voice chat or any form of chat, so it won't be as toxic. Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah, I don't. I'm really scared because I remember I did try to play League of Legends at one point back in the day because I remember playing the original mod on
right.
Warcraft 3 because I'm a old fuck, and I remember there being characters like behind a paywall,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
I'm really
the
curious.
difference is like with some free to play games, the monetization, the paywall is like $10 for a character, like a couple bucks for a League of Legends character. It's not it's not a crazy paywall. It's still there,
Right,
but yeah, I don't.
it's not crazy. It's not crazy to begin with. There's over 1,000 Pokemon. Even
Yeah,
if you have
that's where I was going with it. I'm like,
100 to choose from, right?
I
For
feel
free,
feel
you have
icky.
900 and whatever left over that they can be monetized, right? So even
Gotta
if
buy them
it's
all.
right? So even if it's $200, that's still you're looking at $1,800 if it, or not $200. If it's $2 a pop, you're looking at 1,800 something dollars to fucking buy the rest of the characters if they're in the game.
Okay, that's not the norm though. You don't go buy every character for these games.
Well, no, it
Okay, but
isn't.
it's also Pokemon, which is all about collecting all of the Pokemon. Like that's why I
That's
said
smart
gotta buy
marketing.
them all because gotta catch them all.
But
Pokemon.
you gotta remember the mobile games don't necessarily market to your average Joe. They market to whales, right? The people that are willing to spend that amount of money on that. Because you can think $2 to unlock a character, 99 cents to unlock their one costume for that character. Each character has 5 costumes. That's like I don't even know how much math I just threw out there, but it's more money than fucking 2. It's a lot of money.
$7.
Okay, well, anyways, you know what I mean. $7.
I like how you couldn't add
No,
5 to 2. It's just,
I'm
I don't know. That's too much math. I'm like,
just talking.
we're single digits here still.
Justin's gonna fall asleep on us if we start talking about math too much again. So let's move past that. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Like it could definitely like it's such a slippery slope. But I feel like this is what we continuously keep coming back to with Nintendo. Nintendo keeps taking their long-standing franchises, putting them on a phone in one shape or another, and trying to monetize it because they're trying to get another Pokemon Go. That is the ultimate goal. That is all they fucking care about. And it's why we won't ever see a better mainline Pokemon game.
I think it's funny that people still try and make MOBAs at all.
Right.
Like Gigantic was one that I tried when it released. Did you guys play the Gigantic at all?
No idea.
Yes.
It was pretty cool. It died immediately.
Yeah, it did.
There's 2 successful MOBAs. I remember does anybody remember Dead Island's MOBA?
No.
No. What?
It was fucking horrible. You played as like there were a selection of heroes and then the mobs were zombies. So
Weird.
bad. There's like I guess there's 3. There's League, there's Dota, and then there's Smite. If you can, Smite is like a third person MOBA. It's instead of top down, it's third person, but it's a MOBA.
Smite is pretty popular.
Yeah, Smite's pretty popular, but like outside of those 3, I can't think of any that survive.
Yeah, but I feel like it's
almost 3 prime example.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like the battle royale space, right? Where people keep pumping out games, which we've seen that slow down recently, right? Over the past year or so, we haven't really seen a new major battle royale game come out. But outside of your Warzone and Fortnite, I don't even know if you can still put PUBG in there.
Oh yeah, Alan raises a good point.
What's up?
Blizzard has we didn't even mention Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah.
No, it died. They stopped developing that.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Heroes of the Storm isn't a thing anymore. I'm pretty sure.
Ben, Smite's really good. Like we're saying, Smite is a good MOBA. HOTS is not dead. I don't know. I don't know anybody who plays HOTS. I know a lot of people who play League. I don't know anybody who plays.
April 14th, 2020, in a blog post, the company announced that it was shifting development resources away from Heroes of the Storm to other projects and canceling the game's official esports programs.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like dead. You can play it, but they're not really trying with it anymore.
Dude, I
Yeah.
remember I played Heroes of the Storm so that I could grind out matches to get the special Genji skin in Overwatch. And they just made it so you could get it super easily, like a couple months later.
Yeah, the Oni
What a
skin.
waste of time.
Look, that's how they really win, man. That's how they really win.
What the hell was it called? Epidemic. Dead Island Epidemic.
I never even heard of that, dude.
That's
Not even-
because it was bad.
I don't know why you heard about it. You don't play MOBAs.
I played it.
Yeah, but you don't play MOBAs in general, right? Like, I
No,
don't understand how that got on your radar and
I
how
think,
you
Because Dead
installed
Island.
that. I couldn't get you to install a free Genshin Impact for like a month, but you installed a shitty Dead Island game. Like,
peer
at least
pressure.
Genshin's good.
It was peer pressure. There was like, I think it was like Adam and Grant and Valid and like, I think Dan and like several other like streamer buddies that were like, yeah, we're gonna play this. We're gonna co-stream it. It's like, all right. And then I did, and we played it like once. It's like, this is bad.
You
And
know,
never played it again.
Pokemon Unite actually it does some different things, which I thought was cool. Like there's not a gold economy like in League of Legends. Instead you level up and evolve, and you just choose which like attack that you gain, and you have to like pick and choose as you go. And the other thing that's kind of cool is whichever team has the highest score at the end wins, and you raise your score by capturing wild Pokemon on the battlefield and like going
I didn't see that part.
scoring them in your towers. Yeah.
Would he like jungle for them? I don't.
Yeah, I think
Unclear. It seems like they're like some on the
play-
map that you fight to level up, and then others that appear randomly that you have to capture.
That is a cooler mechanic that makes me feel better about that game. Still does
Also-
not ease any of my fears about the amount of monetization that's about to come to that game.
I mean,
Not even a little bit.
as long as it's not
But-
pay to win, I don't care.
That's fair.
Charizard is going to be behind a paywall, sir.
Charizard won't
play
be. If you have Charmander, you just buy Charmander and you evolve into Charizard. Also, I'm sure the starter Pokemon will be like the 3 free ones. Like it'll be like, here's the 3 original starter Pokemon. You can be Charmander or Bulbasaur. Or
No, that's not what they're going to do. They're going to give you something like fucking, I don't know, goddamn, what's the goddamn fire pig that's a starter in one of them?
What?
Oh my god!
Why you
They're
gotta
gonna give
hate
you-
on him?
Look, they're gonna give you one of these shitty.
Because he doesn't turn into Charizard.
Tepig is great, dude.
No. Torchic's a good one. Blaziken, fucking kick your ass right in the face.
Torchic. What one was that from?
One of
Ruby, I
them.
think.
No.
I don't even know which one the fire pig's from, but that's just ridiculous. Or they'll give you the one where you can be the WWE cat. As the final-
Incineroar? Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. All right, I wouldn't be so mad about that because Incineroar, like he just looks good. But
So good.
I played with what the fuck Rowlet in Sun and Moon. But anyways, because Rowlet's cool as fuck. Ghost grass type, let's get it. Anyways,
One other thing on that game that I thought was cool: crossplay among Android, iOS, and the Nintendo Switch out the gate. So that's good. I like to see
I
that.
might try it on the Switch just so I can play it on my TV.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
free to
there aren't
play, give it a
more.
whirl.
I am kind of surprised there aren't more mobile games that have been ported to Switch.
I'm surprised.
There's a lot on there.
There's a lot. There are quite a few. Like, don't get me wrong. If you look in the free section on there, there were a few that I was like, oh, that's on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But I am just surprised that there's not. Like, I don't know. Why not do both? It's not like the hardware is that separate.
Right. Throw mobile PUBG on there.
Dude.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
So you can enjoy it in all its 720p glory.
Oh yeah.
I cannot believe this isn't a thing. Cannot. For the love of God. Is the only thing that makes sense as a monetization standpoint, especially right now when all the fucking old school Pokemon cards are selling for like $500,000 or some shit.
All these streamers are like, oh, I got like 3 foils.
Hey man, dude, there's this one guy that I do follow on Facebook. All he does is open up Pokemon cards, and he's been doing it forever. And it's just like he's so excited that it makes me excited. Like he's so happy whenever he gets a card, and I'm just like, bro, This is love. All right. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
It's straight love through the stream. So he's great. I don't know his name. I just follow him on Facebook and I'll watch his videos when they pop up in my feed. But he he gets so into it. And it could all be fake. I don't know. It's still enjoyable. So it's not like rando streamers, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh, I normally play Warzone, but now I have Pokemon cards. You know what I mean? Like that's weird to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, dude. I like watching those
anyways,
streams.
so we already took an hour, but we're gonna get to Tim's topic.
I mean, there's nothing to say. He hasn't played it.
He hasn't played it, but have you watched any of the promo videos?
Yes. So for those who don't know what we're talking about there's a new Fallout New Vegas mod that's been in development for a very long time called the Frontier, and it basically just looks like, imagine a new Fallout game running on the Fallout 3/New Vegas engine. They made one from the ground up. There's like a fucking I don't know if it's like a mechanic that you can do over and over or just a sequence in the game, but there's actually a part where you're driving around like a car with a fucking gun on it and like shooting up bandits and shit. And I'm very excited to play it because it is very fitting in the Fallout universe. Like it's very. I just rewatched, because I'm on this kick from seeing these trailers. I just rewatched all 3 original Mad Max movies. Like, not today, because today I was out in the field all day, but like yesterday while I was working in my office, I had them all on my second monitor. While I was working, I had Mad Max going on over here. So like, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound amazing, but you never can drive any vehicles in the Fallout games.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Fallout 2.
Nope.
Okay.
Nobody fucking remembers Fallout 2.
No. Yes, there is a car in Fallout 2.
Yeah, okay, but you can drive a motherfucking tank in this mod.
I'm aware.
Can you drive any vehicles in Fallout 3, Fallout 3 New Vegas, or Fallout 4? Because that stood out to me as something that was like, whoa, you can actually drive vehicles.
You can ride around in vertibirds. There are mods that let you fly vertibirds, but like in the base games, no.
All right. So, did you guys watch the video I put in the chat?
Which one?
That Maddie plays review on the mod.
No.
I think I did.
I think you did. I don't think I watched.
But he basically said it was a combination of Fallout and Call of Duty, because the first 3 hours there is no exploration.
You know what that makes me think of?
What?
That actually makes me a little more excited, because I think I was talking to you, Cody, and I said this reminds me of Operation Anchorage, which was a DLC for Fallout 3, which so I'm not surprised you didn't play it. Operation Anchorage is like, it's like Call of Duty Fallout 3, and it's really fun. And it also like unlocks, like, that's how you get like the Chinese stealth armor and also the T-51B winterized armor in Fallout 3, which are like the 2 best armors in the game. And Cody's just like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Nerd, sir.
I am. Why do you think? Yeah.
Why do you think we have this podcast? We're all
exactly. Why do you think I'm wearing a shirt that's got like a fucking X-ray of an Xbox controller? I'm nerdy as fuck. I can't help it. But like, yeah, like it gave me very much Operation Anchorage vibes, which makes me very excited.
So, the first 3 hours are like that, right? And it's almost like it's like you can call in airstrikes. Like, you're doing these big battles and you're calling in like airstrikes. You do the traditional Call of Duty thing where you go through like the little training area first, right? You know what I mean? You shoot down like the targets and stuff. You know what I mean? They have that in there. But it's very structured the first 3 hours, from what I understand. And then within that first 3 hours, you'll make some very big choices that will then affect the rest of your playthrough of when you go out into the world and explore it, kind of thing.
The Frontier.
So, yeah, the Frontier. So I'm excited for it. Fallout New Vegas was my favorite Fallout, hands down. I actually don't like any of the other Fallouts. Well, as in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. They're okay. They're not great. I don't know why they're so critically acclaimed. I think they're boring. But Fallout New Vegas, right, has great writing and a bunch of really, like, it's just really good in general. Like, from everything I remember, that's the only Fallout game I've played to completion. at least through one playthrough. I never went back and played more. So when I saw it had a gigantic mod coming out for it, I was very excited. But yeah, I don't know. I am waiting for the Steam release because I'm 30 years old and I just do not have the time with 2 children to sit here and like mess around to get a fucking mod to
I
work.
had to download a brand new fucking did you know Nexus mods has a new mod manager? It's not the old mod manager. Like you can't even used to be able to update
Vortex. It's Vortex.
Vortex. Used to be able to update NMM, and I was like, all right, I haven't used it in a couple years, but let's just go ahead and pop this fucker open and update it. And it just was like searching for all my games. I'm like, I don't even see an update button on it anymore.
Right.
And I checked. I was like, oh no, it's a brand new fucking program I need to download. Ah, well, fuck me. I don't want to deal with this.
Right. That's kind of like I've used Vortex since it's come out. But Nexus Mod Manager was in beta for like a decade. And then it just never came out of beta. So, and then they came out with Vortex.
Yeah. In the meantime, Steam Workshop has made installing mods a fucking breeze.
Right. Like, I don't know. And that's kind of what I want. Like, I'll just wait to install it. It's probably not that difficult, right? But it's just like, I have other things to do.
Can't be bothered.
Right. So I'll wait for it. And plus, it'll probably be a little bit more stable by then because they did have issues. The day it released, it crashed Nexus Mod Manager, or not Mod Manager, but Nexus Mod website. And
pretty popular.
People were like, fuck. Yeah, it's super popular. It's actually, I think it's more popular than Enderall.
Yeah, and like Enderall, it's fully voiced. It's gonna be it's not like I mean it's a full fucking game basically, and Enderall kind of the same thing. If you don't know what Enderall is, it's a Skyrim mod, same similar concept. There's another one that I'm starting to. They're still working on it, and I'm convinced that we'll get Elder Scrolls 6 before Skywind releases. And I've been very excited about Skywind. I've written articles on Skywind, interacted with Kyle over there a couple of times. Really, I love that development team. They're very passionate. I think the first time I talked about Skywind with Cody, it was like 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play it eventually.
Actually, the folks that made Enderall are now working on a separate commercial game. Saw that yesterday.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're working on a whole new game, which is good for them. They sat there and made a gigantic mod as practice, and now they're going to go ahead and make their own shit.
I can't think of the name of the developers, but there've been a few developers that got their start that way. And some of the best games out there were first perfected in mod form.
Oh.
So some of the most popular out there, I think the battle royale genre in general.
Yeah.
I think the MOBA, we just spent fucking a half hour talking about MOBAs earlier. Feels like yeah, it's
Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah, Defenders of the Ancients.
My favorite mod
Dota
that turned into a full blown game is Insurgency. Was originally a mod for Half-Life.
Yeah.
And now it's had 2 full blown games come out since then.
That's I think what I was trying to think of was Insurgency. I was like, I can't think of the one I'm trying to think of. Here's these other ones, but it's not what I was trying to think of. Insurgency.
I played so much of that Insurgency mod back in the day. Holy shit. I played the living fuck out of that. I would stay up until 4 in the morning because I didn't have a job or anything. I was just waiting to go to basic. They have shit to do other than work out. So I'd just stay up all night and fucking listen to music and goddamn play that. God, I played it so much. Holy shit. Anyways, anything we want to hit? Anything else we want to hit, boys?
We're out of time.
I'm sorry?
We're out of time.
Yeah, we are. We're about 10 minutes over. Do we care about any of these other topics? Or are we gonna save them? We can save them. Fucking topics. All right, boys. Any closing thoughts before we playing games? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Some games.
My closing thought is actually related to one of the topics we're not talking about, and that's the Humble Bundle winter sale is going on right now. There's up to 90% off on select titles. I just picked up if you want to play a good Cyberpunk game that's not totally broken and has had years to fix its issues, go ahead and pick up Deus Ex Mankind Divided for $3.99.
Fuck yes,
even if you don't love it, it's $4 and it's good. And if you want one that's better and more critically acclaimed, play Human Revolution. You can get that for $3 too. like there's a lot of games. I picked up a bunch of games this week through that for like $17, and like because I have Humble Choice, that's an extra 20% off that I get on that too. So it's like fucking cheap as hell, and you can have that discount like goes towards charity too. Like a lot of that you can put towards charity. So it's worth
It's
it.
good shit, but not for real. Deus Ex, however the fuck you want to say that shit. It's Cyberpunk done well. That's what it is, and in third person.
Mhm.
Want to stab people with mantis blades? They come out of your elbows, and you go shink shink as you assassinate them, right? Because you could do that in that game, unlike in Cyberpunk.
Was it
Just saying.
third person? I don't remember Deus Ex being third person.
It's third person when you're behind cover and shit,
Oh, okay.
and sometimes when you assassinate people. It just depends.
I have two closing thoughts. First one, Bungie is going to expunge all of their old Halo records from their website. So if you want to grab your stats, go on there, save them in some way for your personal belongings. Do that. My other thought is our friend Alan gave me a copy of Hades, and me and Cody are going to try to play some of that this Sunday night. So come on back for that.
What time?
Cody?
I don't think we've talked about a time yet, but we'll let y'all know.
I'll
follow us at Life in Pixels, or just follow us here on Facebook.
Yeah.
Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitch, sub on YouTube, follow on Twitter.
Yep.
All the plugs. Subscribe to the podcast on Spotify.
Yep.
All the plugs.
We got a lot of plugs for you.
I'll be there.
If you stick around, I normally restart the Facebook stream, just because it's easier to do than for clipping later on. But we should be playing games. I don't know what it is. It'll probably be Phasmophobia.
Probably gonna play Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you to try GTFO finally, but yeah, Phasmophobia is good.
Ben's here. If Ben wasn't here, we'd probably try something else. But Ben's here, and he immediately said, "We have more updates to test out, boys." So we will probably play some Phasmophobia. Anyways, I appreciate everybody who stopped by today. We had a very high pop count on Facebook today for the first time. Hit double digits for a little while, so it was nice. So everybody who stopped by, thank you. Anybody who shared our shit, thank you. Anybody who liked it, also thank you. And we will be back here in 10 minutes or something. So,
yeah. After a short break. Bye, everybody.
Yep. Bye.